In this video, we are going to talk about how to place bids for treasury bills and treasury bonds on the DhowCSD app or using the DhowCSD app. But before we get into it, let me start with addressing one of the most frequently asked questions about this DhowCSD platform. And this is, if you're already an existing investor with the Central Bank of Kenya, so if you're already an existing treasury bills and treasury bonds investor with the Central Bank of Kenya, do you need to register again? And so if you already have what was called a CDS account with Central Bank of Kenya, and you already have experience investing with treasury bills and treasury bonds, now that they've launched this new system, do you need to register again? The answer is no. If you already have an account, all your information that Central Bank had was automatically transferred to this new platform, so you don't need to register again. All you need to do is go to Google, your Google Play Store or your App Store if you're an iOS user, and download the DhowCSD application. And then after you download the app, then after that, all you need to do is you click them. Already have a CDS account. There's a button there down there that is written already have a CDS account, and then when you click there, you'll be asked to enter your email. So you'll enter your email, and then there's a token that is going to be sent to your email. There's a token that's going to be sent to your email, and then you'll use that token to enter it on the app, right? To enter it on the app, and then you will also input a password, your preferred password, and then after you do that, then you'll be able to log in and activate your account. So it's that simple. You don't need to register again, and this is like a 2 minutes at most activity. I know some people have been facing issues with not receiving their token as fast as they'd wish, and they think it's because this being a new platform, CBK has been facing a lot of teething problems. But I would advise you, if you're not receiving your token, to try this during business hours, like between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kenyan time, right, on Monday to Friday. In that way, you're likely to get a token. But a lot of people have been saying that when they try it during the weekend or when they try it at night, it's not working. So try it during weekdays, business hours. And now let's get to how to place bids for treasury bills and treasury bonds using the DhowCSD app. This being September, I was really hoping for an infrastructure bond, but the Central Bank of Kenya in this month has decided to reopen a 2-year and a 10-year fixed income bond. And so those are the two examples that we are going to use as I show you how to actually place a bid for a treasury bill or a treasury bond. And now let's talk about how to actually place bids for treasury bills and treasury bonds using the DhowCSD app. I'm going to be using my phone, but I'm going to do a screen recording for you in order for this to make it as practical as possible, which is always what we always do here at the Wealth Tribe. So when you log in, the first thing you see on your dashboard is your portfolio. That's the first thing that you see is your portfolio. And so this will be a list of the securities you've already invested in. That means if you had previously invested in treasury bills and treasury bonds, you will see how much you've invested in treasury bonds and how much you've invested in treasury bills. If this is the first time you're placing a bid on this, if this is the first time you're an investor, then that part will be blank. There's not going to be a pie chart, for example. But let's get into how to actually place bids for treasury bills and treasury bonds. So what you need to do is click buy and sell. After you click buy and sell, you click securities. When you do that, you will see a list of the currently available treasury bills and treasury bonds, right? Yes, you'll see a list of the currently available treasury bills and treasury bonds. As of the time I'm recording this video, which is 3rd September, there are 2 bonds that are currently on offer and 3 treasury bills that are currently on offer. So the first one is a 10-year It's a 10-year FXD bond, which was first floated in 2016. So as you can see, it's written there, FXD 1/2016/010. So that's the first one. The other one is a 2-year bond, a 2023 bond, FXD 1/2023/002. And then the other 3 are treasury bills, 24/68/364. That's a 364 treasury bill. The other one is /182, which is an 182 treasury bill. And the other one is a /091, which is a 91 day treasury bill. So practically, how can you, if you wanted to invest in either of these, how can you practically do it? Simply click create bid. It's right there, create bid in orange. So we click create bid, and then it's going to open where it's going to show you reopen. This is a reopen. So if it's a reopen bond, it will be written a reopen bond. If it's not, it will show you. And then as you can see, it's the on the screen, it's written this bid, this bond is being sold between 1st September 2023 to 13th September 2023. And so let's go. So the first option you have is competitive. I would caution you against choosing the competitive option because saying if you choose a competitive option, it's literally, you see, you'll be asked to write your yield. You'll be asked to write how much interest rate do you want the Central Bank of Kenya to pay you. This is only applicable or this only works for people who are investing 20 million and above. So for most of us retail investors, we don't have 20 million. So always go for the non-competitive. Always go for the non-competitive. When you choose the non-competitive, we are simply telling the Central Bank of Kenya, give us the average. So when the auction committee sits down and reviews all the bids that were submitted, by choosing non-competitive, you're telling them, give me the average of all the bids were submitted. And as a retail investor, always, especially if you do not want your bid to be rejected, because I always get your messages on Instagram or even here on YouTube where you're telling me that you placed a bid but then the bid was rejected. It's because you chose most of the time it's because you chose the competitive bid. So always go with the non-competitive bid option. So after that, we go with we have to choose how much money are we going to invest. So if, for example, we can use the minimum, which is 50,000, and as I'm typing, you can see that it's written value should be a multiple of bidding increments nominal value. Literally, the central bank really likes using jargon, but simply when you're investing in treasury bills and treasury bonds, you should invest in multiples of 50,000. So that means the minimum for a treasury bond, the minimum is 50,000. So multiples of 50,000 to mean the next amount that you can invest is 100,000, the next one is 150,000, the next is 200,000, the next is 250,000. And so on and so forth. So you can't say, for example, that you want to invest 236,000. Yeah, okay. So we put in 50,000, and then after that you have to your account number. So for me, it shows my account number. So for you to show your account number, and then when it comes to the placing agent, choose none, because you're not using any agency or any stockbroker. So pick none. As a retail investor, just follow this step by step, choose none. And then source of funds, either choose the local or offshore. If you're in the diaspora, you can decide to choose offshore. So choose local, and then you have to say what is your specific source of funds. So the good thing about this DhowCSD, despite its teething problems, is that it's giving us options, right? It's giving us multiple options, and it's making, with time, we are actually going to realize that this system is better than the old system, because this one is digital, number one. Number two, it's giving us more options. For example, one of the options I discovered by going through this process is that you can actually cancel a bid after placing a bid, and I'll show you can actually cancel a bid. So back to specific source of funds. So we have a maturing treasury bill or treasury bond. This means that if you had previously invested in a bond or a bill and it's maturing, and so its maturity period, that is when you get your principal amount that you invested. If that maturity period is coinciding with a new bond, with a fresh bond, then you can decide that instead of the central bank sending you your money to your account, your principal amount to your account, let them use that money to reinvest, right? So that's what literally you're saying. So you have options: a maturing treasury bill or treasury bonds, or others, which if you pick others, then you have to explain you have to explain your enter specific source of funds. But in this case, for most people, you'll go with the salary option. And then so after you choose salary option, you have to click accept the legal terms, accept legal terms, and then accept fund terms. So as you can see here, for fund terms, it's written the funds being invested for the purchase of the above treasury bill or bond are not proceeds of crime as defined by the Proceeds of Crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act and number 9 of 2009. Then after that, what you do is click place bid. Yeah, click place bid. So if you click place bid, so as you can see, you in our example, place bid placement confirm. Are you sure you want to place the bid with the following information? It's the auction is already open, and then you can see all the details of the bid. Your bid type is non-competitive. Your face value is 50,000. That's how much we want to invest. We have no custodian. Our source of funds is local. So if we were to go ahead and click this place bid, what would show on the screen is bid placed successfully. That is what would happen. I'm not going to place this bid because I'm not interested in investing in this bond, but if you are, all you need to do is click place bid. So in this case, I will close because I'm not interested, but I'm not interested in placing this bid. But let's assume that you have placed this bid, because I have experience using this platform by the way. So I had placed a bid some time back. So what you need to do after your bid has been placed successfully, you now click bids. You come to this bids platform. Yeah, so as you can see, it's here, it's there's a bid I had placed previously, and as you can see on my screen, I had tried placing a bid on this platform on 23rd August. Yeah, on 23rd August. So after you, basically what I'm saying is, after your bid has been successful, you come to bids. And you should be able to see the details of the bond or treasury bill that you have placed a bid for, or you have submitted a bid for. So the one that had placed previously had a coupon rate of 16.9723%. Unfortunately, by the after I placed this bid and went and got all the updates from Central Bank of Kenya about the success of my bid, and even how much money I was supposed to send to Central Bank of Kenya, I wasn't able to successfully wire money to CBK, which is a conversation we need to have. But for now, simply that is how to place a bid. And then so what would happen is, a trick I would need to show you is go to these and then go to settings. When you go to settings, go to notification preferences. So on your account, go to notification preferences. When you go to notification preferences, please choose how you'd like to be receiving updates from about your bids from CBK. So as you can see, there is the email and the SMS option. So you can decide account status change, new transaction status change, new bids. So you see there it's written new bid status change. So if you want to be receiving all these timely updates, and actually I have tested it and it works, so you receive timely updates. So just choose the options that you want, whether you want to receive via SMS, whether you want to receive via email, instructions, new instruction status change, auctions, new auction. If you want to be, when the central bank has floated new bills and bonds, if you want to be receiving that information, all you need to do is tick whether you want to receive via email or not. So it's that simple, and then you click save and you'll be good to go. New setting for notification saved, yeah, and you'll be good to go. So that's it on how to place bids for treasury bills and treasury bonds. That being said, I want to take you to my computer now. We move to a screen recording of my computer in order for me to show, after you've successfully placed a bid, what kind of notifications do you receive from Central Bank of Kenya, so that you're aware. So for now, let's go to my computer. So these are the emails that I received from DhowCSD. So DhowCSD at centralbank.go.ke when I placed a bid for that bond. So the first email I received is bid status changed. So this one, bid status changed, bid applied date. So as you can see, 23rd of August 2023, and then it was a tap sale for the FXD 2023-002, and so the status was bid submitted. The bid was submitted, and then new status ready. Then after that, after that I received an email. Same day, old status ready, so new status bid successful. So this showed that my bid was successful. Then after that, I received another status bid successful complete. So these are the kind of updates you will receive from CBK or from DhowCSD. After those updates, you'll also receive an update about the transaction, and by transaction I mean how much money are you supposed to send to CBK for your bid. So because this was a tap sale, to mean that because this was a reopened bond, right? Because this was a reopened bond, to mean that the people who had invested in it originally had already started earning interest, right? They had already started earning interest, and because this is a reopening, I have to send a bit more than the 50,000. This is why, as you can see from here, it's the CBK or DhowCSD will tell you the exact amount of money you're supposed to wire to them. So this is important because people always ask this question. So for me, in this case, the amount of money that I was supposed to wire was 50,157.85 Kenya shillings. This is important for me to show you because you're supposed to wire this exact amount. Don't round it off, right? Don't say when you're sending money to Central Bank of Kenya, don't round it off and say, I'm going to send 50,158, or I'm going to send less, or I'm going to send 50,000. Send exactly what is shown. So how will you send money to Central Bank of Kenya? For now, the advice I would give you, if you're physically available in Kenya, go to your bank and fill the physical RTGS form. Tell your banker you want to do an RTGS transfer. Then fill a physical RTGS form and send the money. If you're in diaspora, I would advise that you call your bank for advice on how to transfer that money. I'm saying this because after I went through this process of sending this of placing this bid and being successful and being told how much amount of money I'm supposed to send, I wasn't successful. I wasn't able to send money, and maybe right now we can go back to video and maybe tell you why I wasn't successful in sending and in wiring this money to CBK. After going through that process of submitting a bid successfully, which I've now shown you, and you should be good to go, unfortunately, I wasn't able to wire money to CBK. One of the reasons is because I'm currently living in Dubai, and so I'm not physically available. If I was in Nairobi, all I would have done is go to my bank, fill the RTGS form, fill the RTGS transfer form, and then my money would have been I'll probably have been successful. I don't know. That is what I'm still not 100% sure, because there's so much confusion. If you've already experienced this process of placing a bid and trying to send money to central bank, there's so much confusion between, literally, commercial banks in Kenya also do not understand how the DhowCSD platform works. And the worst thing is that they also do not know how to wire the money to Central Bank of Kenya using this new system. Yeah, unfortunately. And I'm telling you this because I interact with coaching clients on a daily basis, and I interact with the Wealth Tribe on a daily basis. So I have DMs. I have a lot of DMs from you guys saying that I went to my bank, or I called my bank, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. That's a problem. And of course, the key issue here is because Central Bank of Kenya is not very good at communicating. So they did not communicate to commercial banks about, we have a new system, and then this is how to help your clients wire money to us. And I know this for sure because when my transfer was not successful, I called Central Bank of Kenya, and the person I spoke to had no idea how to help me, had no idea why my transfer was not successful, and so I felt stuck. Now, at least from then on, of course, I've done, and by the way, if you're watching this video and you work at the Central Bank of Kenya, or if you're watching this video and you know someone who works at the Central Bank of Kenya, please, we are begging for clear communication, especially for Kenyans living in diaspora, because you want us to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds, but you have not given clear communication about how to wire money to you. And I'm evidence because I tried and I failed. Now, but from then on, so please, if you know someone, I know the Wealth Tribe is big and people are connected out here. If you know someone who works at CBK, tell them they need to do better. There are too many teething problems with this system. We love it, but there are too many teething problems with this system, and we are suffering, and we don't like suffering. So, but what have I learned since I failed, and failure is good. So since I failed at successfully transferring money to CBK, what have I learned? One of the key things I learned is one of the possible causes as to why, one of the possible reasons as to why I wasn't able to successfully transfer money is because I used the wrong CDS account number. If you're an old investor, when we applied using the Kitambo manual system to to get a CDS account, there are two kind of numbers we received from Central Bank of Kenya. We received an email or a text message, and we had two types of numbers. So we had your CDS account number, and then there was also the portfolio account number, right? So there were two types of numbers, account numbers you received. If you're an old investor, you understand what I mean. So apparently, not even apparently, when CBK launched the DhowCSD system, they changed those numbers, right? So before, all I'd need to do, because I've done an RTGS transfer before, all I'd need to do is go to my bank or go to my online system, my bank, use my old CDS account number to wire money. Now that is what I did this time around. I used my old account number. So they changed our account numbers. And here's the problem: Central Bank did not communicate that they changed our account numbers, and that's why my transfer was not successful. I think that was why it was not successful. So here is me helping you. If you're an old investor, right, I need you to go to your app. When you go to your app, click settings. Down there you can see there's a button, there's a settings button. After that, when you click the settings button, you see profile info, and then you will see accounts. Click accounts. Right, when you click accounts, you will see, so I can't show you a screen recording of this because this has my personal information. So when you click accounts, you'll be able to see down there it's written Central Bank of Kenya. For me it's written individual because it's an individual account. So if it's joint, it will be written joint. You will see your account number, your new account number. So before, for example, my old account number had numbers -01. Now all new account numbers have -0004. Okay, so that number that has -0004, that is your new account number. So if you're in diaspora and if you're doing an RTGS transfer, even if you're in Kenya and you're doing an RTGS transfer, even when you physically go to your bank, please be advised that this is the account number you're supposed to use to wire money to CBK. So don't use the old ones. Please ignore the old ones because I suspect that is the reason why I wasn't successful. And so with that, I have answered the question how to place bids for treasury bills and treasury bonds using the DhowCSD app, and I've also shared why I wasn't successful with transferring money and what I would do differently. So what I would do differently next time is I would use this new account number instead of the old account number. We live and learn. That being said, please hit like, comment, subscribe, share this video with as many people as possible so that we grow the tribe and so that it gives me motivation to keep creating more videos for you guys. Thank you and bye.